The PlayStation Plus game catalogue lineup for February, it was just announced and it seems Sony, they are going absolute beast mode. My name is Alex, this is PlayStation Corner. Let's dive in and break down all of these new releases and what you can expect to see added to the library come February 21st. If you enjoyed the video today, consider subscribing, it helps a huge amount, and here you can expect reviews, deals, PS Plus catalogue breakdowns and VR2 content to coincide with the launch later in the month. Today then we have 13 games for you all, dropping for the extra catalogue alongside 4 classics. Starting with the extra tier and above, the big release that is Horizon 2 Forbidden West for the PS4 and 5. A fan favourite and no question on the timing, it makes absolute sense given the release of VR2 and the fact it's dropping with a Horizon VR experience. Here though, we resume the role of Aloy, the hunter on a quest to uncover the source of a plague which kills all that are infected. This world is stunning, the gameplay is solid, and the robotic enemies, they are as impressive as ever. I don't honestly think it's a game changer in comparison to the first entry, but it's definitely a nice expansion on the world. Scarlet Nexus then was a game I played at launch. I'm a big fan. For action RPG fans out there, it is a good one to take a look at. We can play as one of 2 leads, each with their own unique story, and we are part of a squadron which possesses psychokinesis abilities as well as advanced technology. I just loved the overall presentation, that anime look, and the story is fun too, an invading enemy that have a taste for human brains. I did not see that coming. The only thing I didn't like all that much, I found the voice acting to be a little grating, so you may want to mess with the options if you do find yourself of that same opinion. It's another one then with a PS5 upgrade. Resident Evil 7 is a horror classic. I'm a wimp when it comes to the genre, and this was for sure a return to form for them. I did suffer through it personally, and it's the first time I've been scared by a Resident Evil in years now at this point, but the switch to first person, it just works so well. It restricts the perspective to make you nervous of what is around you, and then the family you meet are just incredibly creepy. Even the story of saving your missing wife, it's an extremely easy one to get behind. Ethan as a lead then is just a really strong character, so if you do have the stomach for it, I would recommend it, and it has a PS5 upgrade as well. Outriders is a game I played at launch and I never finished it honestly. I did have fun however with it, and it's especially good if you can get a few people together for online play. The problem with the game is it's a looter shooter where the loot, it's just not all that impressive. I still do occasionally return to it though with friends for some brainless action, so it's definitely a good one for pick up and play moments. I also really like the idea of the story. We are looking for a new world after Earth is falling to pieces. As long as you go into this one for some kind of brainless third person action, then it's nowhere near as bad as many did make out, and this could be really good for the community that did stick with it. It looks particularly nice on the PS5 as well with the included upgrades. Borderlands 3 then, while I'm on looter shooters, and this is really kind of how you do it right. It's incredibly rewarding, there's a massive world to explore, and I personally love that overall style. It's always been a little unique, that is no different here, especially with its cel-shaded look. Really benefits from PS5 hardware as well, with its performance included. The story then packs a ton of humour as well, and again we are a team of Vault Hunters, here though out to stop twins and a less than friendly cult. It's always going to be best played in multiplayer in my opinion, and it is one of the best entries. It just for me can't quite top the second, and I think for many that is the same story. The Forgotten City then is one I picked up, played a small amount, put it down, and now I'm jealous it's coming here for free. It was originally built as a mod for Skyrim, but has since gone on to success as a standalone experience. An adventure RPG, it's a game of exploration and deduction as you uncover the remains of an ancient city, and then you leverage the ability to travel through time so you can attempt to solve basically who destroyed it and how can you potentially save it. Dive in and meet the locals and come to your own conclusions. It is another one that gets a PS5 upgrade, but it can't hide the classic wooden Skyrim-like character animations. The last release then with a PS5 upgrade is the Quarry. This is a game I suggest everyone checks out. In fact, I might get a review ready for the channel for the day it drops on PS Plus the 21st, because I've been looking for an excuse now to dive back in. Earlier in the video I said I'm not great with horror, but I love this sort of cheesy campy horror, and we are a group of camp counselors trying to survive overnight where it seems everyone wants us dead, from the locals to almost the paranormal. It's a cinematic adventure from the team of Until Dawn, and it's definitely good stuff. Especially if you play around a TV with family or friends, and then you can make decisions together and take actions to see how many of these individuals you can keep alive. The remaining games for extra tiers and above then, these are PS4, naturally older releases, but we still get some quality in here. First up, Ace Combat 7, Skies Unknown. This will be a good option for any aerial combat fans. I'm a massive fan of this game personally. I even invested in a flight stick for it back in the day. It has the usual over-the-top story, but you cannot fault the action included. It even actually got a Top Gun expansion, which I still need to check out, even if it is just aircrafts and not new content from what I understand. Tekken 7 needs a little introduction, a classic fighter that's got a sequel incoming for 2024, I believe it is. It's the story of family warfare and a long-running feud. I always come here personally for the fights, not necessarily the packed-in story. As always though, it's relatively easy to pick up and play, but if you do jump online, expect to see what you can truly do when you sit down and master a control scheme. Can't say I've played it in years myself, but it is definitely worth a look. Earth Defense Force 5, and I've played a few of these now over the years. They're just brainless action games in a positive way, and I've always looked at them as the Starship Troopers games I've always wanted. I'd really love them to do a crossover. An arcade shooter, we are fighting off invading aliens and massive bugs, and yeah, it gets absolutely manic, and honestly it does look and play a little janky at times, but it actually works alongside the game's kind of B-movie-esque ideas. The final 3 games then for extra tiers and above before we get to the classics. These come from Tokyo RPG Factory and they were published by Square Enix. That is I Am Setsuna, La Sphere and Anunnaki. Spiritual successors to each other essentially. I Am Setsuna and La Sphere, they are turn-based. Anunnaki moves towards action. Some entertaining stories, I wouldn't say they are massive leaps from each other, but when you want something a bit more old school, these are some of the better modern examples. If I had to pick one of them to play, I'd probably be going with I Am Setsuna. I just think they did the storytelling a little better. For those with premium then, you'll also find 4 classic releases. I'm excited for a couple of these. First up though, Destroy All Humans. This is the PS4 build, a cult classic. You invade Earth as Crypto looking for a colleague. It's full of immature visual gags, but it has its fun moments. I wouldn't personally say it's aged all that well, though definitely feels clunky by today's standards. Harvest Moon, Back to Nature, then can't say I know anything about this one, but it is not for me. It's packing some new options though, at least the usual things they do throw in with these releases. It goes for the last 2 games as well, but think up rendering, rewinds and quick saves. Seems to be the usual repair and maintain a farm that was once your grandfather's. For me, I tend to stick to the Nintendo Switch when I want an experience like this. Here's the 2 I'm excited for though. Wild Arms 2, the RPG classic. In this one we are fighting against an evil organisation who are attempting to conquer the world. We are arms, we must stop them. Don't think I've ever played this one myself, so it's definitely great to see, and the first and the third entry, they are already available. Then The Legend of Dragoon. I've definitely never played this, but always wanted to. It's another RPG. We take on the role of Dart out on this adventure to save our friends after we inherit a dragon's power. Definitely not doing the story there justice, but JRPG fans, with these 2 titles, they should be extremely happy. And that's the video down. What will you be checking out from this selection? Let us know in the comments. With that then, hit subscribe. Join us here for reviews, deals, PS Plus catalogue breakdowns, and VR2 content to coincide with the launch later in the month. And we'll see you all on the next video. Thanks everyone.